Welcome to We the People, a new birth of freedom. Thanks for stopping by. Socialism has no place on American soil. That is not expressing freedom of speech. Freedom of speech expresses free things. To have the liberty to speak freely in the context as it was written means that what you're speaking about promotes, supports, and furthers freedom. Free speech in America does not mean that you're allowed to establish Nazism and talk about it. It has no place here. Free speech does not mean that you're allowed to propagate socialism. It has no place here. Not amongst free people. So socialism is treason because it's anti-liberty. Socialism is simply where a community or a governmental entity controls the production, the distribution, and the exchange of goods, which means it controls your money, which means it controls what you purchase, which means it chews away and eats away and erodes your personal sovereign liberty, freedom, justice, life, and the pursuit of happiness. Someone is in control. You know, they call themselves progressives, socialist, postmodernist. There's nothing new about this concept. You're either a free person or you're under a dictator. You either understand liberty or you're subjected to totalitarianism. You're either a free, sovereign individual, which means you're accountable and responsible for your actions, or someone else is telling you what to do or what not to do. It just so happens that America was built upon individual sovereign freedom, liberty. Former President Obama, I have to chuckle at this because he said that we have a flawed constitution. Well, it's amazing that our flawed constitution put him in the highest office of this country. But what he was really talking about was the flaw was it wasn't socialistic enough, that the government wasn't able to control the production, the exchange, and the of goods. He wanted the government to control more. You know, they call themselves liberals, progressives. There's nothing liberal and progressive about it. You're either free or you're not. You're either a free individual understanding your own sovereignty, and you're accountable and responsible, or you go back under totalitarianism. Some government's telling you what to do, or some dictators telling you what to do, and limits your freedom. Well, Obama, he likes that idea because he is the role model. He's the poster child now of narcissism. He made a statement. He said his mission, his goal was, his vision was to make 1 million Obamas. That's because he's stuck on himself. He thinks he's all that and some. He thinks he's the best thing that's come along since sliced bread, peanut butter, and whatever else. But you know what? That's anti-American. That's treasonous. He needs to be brought before the American people for treason. We're not interested in socialism. We're not interested in a government controlling production, exchange, the purchase of goods, which eats away at our liberty, erodes our personal freedom, which means it'll eventually control how much money you make, because socialists hate capitalism, because it's individualism. But see, true liberty doesn't matter how much money you make or how less money you make. Capitalism isn't the problem. It's greed. There's where the problem is. Greedy companies, corporations, individuals. There's where the problem comes in. So President Obama, he likes the socialistic concept. So my advice is, and I would debate him on the national stage anytime, but my advice to him is to, take his bullshit and go to some socialistic country, because there's no place here in the United States of America that's founded upon independence. and a constitution associated with that independence, and a Bill of Rights that's also associated with the context of independence, which is individual sovereignty, which makes up we the people. But somehow we seem to tolerate that. But a true American has no tolerance for despotism. A true American has no tolerance for socialism. A true American has no tolerance for postmodernism, Marxism, communism, Nazism. A true American is a free, individual, sovereign unit who is not anti-government. No, we're not anti-government because I've said, if you've been listening to my videos, that built within us, our own biology, is a constitution, a constitutional conscience that's in there to keep us healthy, safe, mentally well, physically well. And it's only when those boundaries are trespassed, violated, that we begin to suffer. I've gave examples of eating. We're free to eat anything we want. You can say, I'm a free man, I'll eat anything I want, so I'll eat poison food. Well, you're going to pay the consequences because there's a constitution within you that safeguards you from that. Now, you cross that line, you're going to suffer the reaction from that. You're allowed to breathe anytime you want, anything you want. But you breathe poisonous gas, you're going to die probably, because there's a constitution built within us that tries to safeguard us from that. You can think anything you want, but you think the wrong thoughts, you allow the wrong thoughts to come into your life that are negative, that destroy your self-esteem, that violate your morality, your sanctity as an individual, you'll suffer. There'll be all kinds of psychological problems. So freedom, liberty, is not anarchy. It represents the highest form of accountability and responsibility. Individual sovereignty is a foreign language to socialists. I would love to debate President Obama on the national stage anytime, any place, and just totally wreck his socialistic propaganda. 1,000,000 Obamas? Oh my, I can't seem to get away from that. See, he don't like individual sovereignty. He don't like individualism. He wants everybody to be like him. That is antithetical to personal liberty. Think about it. Stop and think. That's antithetical to personal freedom, personal sovereignty. To understand you as an individual, your own identity, your own personality. No, he wants to clone everybody. But that's what anti-Americans do. They cannot stand individual sovereignty. So, thanks for stopping by. Until next time, be an American.